In an alternate universe where Luton Town never got promoted to the Premier League and danced around in the Championship for a couple of seasons, I've simulated to the end of the 2027 season to see if we can take a side that are currently 17th place on the 1st of October to where they belong in real life, the Premier League. We're in 17th place right now. It is the 3rd of October. Our first game's against Derby. We're at Luton Town, and we're getting straight into it. The January transfer window is coming very soon. We'll be coming back after this game at the end of the January transfer window, and then simulating all the way to the end of the season, where hopefully we can be further up the table with a pretty decent team. I've, of course, edited the tactic, because this is the Tactical Journeyman. If you're new to the series, basically I'm trying to go as far as I possibly can without using the gegenpress, switching up tactics at every single club that I go to. We've gone from St Albans to Galway United, Bradford City, and now at Luton Town in the Championship. Very happy with the success we've had so far, and very happy to be here at Luton Town with the goal of trying to keep out of the relegation battle, but I really do want to be pushing for at least mid-table, potentially even play-off football. So, before I go over the tactic that we have made, the players that we have, please make sure you do smash the like button on today's video, as well as subscribing to the Rex FM YouTube channel so you don't miss more Football Manager content every week. I come up with a video with this, hopefully every week. And can we please smash 20 likes? It's a big target. That's the first episode at Luton Town, a side that are currently in the Premier League. And we're going to try and do the exact same with them within this season or the next season, if it doesn't go our way. But what you want to know is the tactic, the Tactical Journeyman. I mean, it's in the name, isn't it? And this is the squad that we're going with. I apologise that I will not know the players that have really helped Luton get into the Premier League in real life. I'm pretty certain this man up top is one of those players. Adebayo looks like a great striker, going to play as advanced forward for us. And we've sort of centred our tactic around him. Let's actually go through the tactic first. So it's a wing play, because we have good wingers, and we have a tall striker, which seems simple, but I don't know how it will work. There's a lot of mix-up going on as we start. So this is what we're going with to start with, playing on the left and the right, swinging in the early balls. We're countering when we get the ball, but not counter-pressing on defence, sort of just letting it sit out, see what happens is the vibe, because we have a lot of defensive players in this midfield trio. So I'm hoping they'll just kind of sort it out. I don't know if it will work, but that's what we're going with. Morris is out on the left-hand side. I know definitely is in the Luton Town that managed to get them promoted. Very happy to have him here. I think he's going to be a great player for us with still good stats, despite the fact he is 30. A new player is Moreno, who's a right-winger striker, who I think will do a good job on that side as a winger. I like what he brings to the table, able to swing crosses into Adebayo, should work very well. Campbell, a player that I think is also, in real life Luton squad, very good. Best player on our team by a country mile. 6 assists from 9 appearances. Box-to-box midfielder, because he's just the most attacking of our good midfield options. So he's got to be the box-to-box. As White, as a Carrilero. And by my pronunciation, I'm sure you know that I've never used that before. Carrilero. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't have a lot of thought behind it, but he suits it. So good to have you, White. He's a good player. Carrilero. Yeah. Fernando into the team. CDM. Terrible physicals. 34 years of age. I know who he is. Insane technical and mentals though. Like, outrageous. 18 passing, 16 technical, 16 long shots, 15 first touch, 15 vision, 15 composure, 15 empathy. He's very good. So I had to have him in the starting lineup. Defensive minded as well. Works for our cautious mentality. Might have to move that to a balanced or positive one if it doesn't work, but hey, we'll see how it goes for now. And we do have Bell at left back as a wing back, and I've never used wing backs. So there's a lot of new things going on here, but with the wing play, I think it's going to work. So Bell is our starting left back with Drame Cody. It's going to have to be Cody because I have no idea how to say that last name. I'm very sorry, Cody. But a great right back for us. Looks like a great option as a wing back as well. We've got Turns in centre back, who's definitely not a Luton player in real life, but a very good player in this game. Looks like he's going to do a decent job for us in centre back. Not complaining at a 23-year-old at all. A man on loan who does not exist in real life, so definitely not currently in the Luton side, but he looks all right. He's probably our second best centre-back. We have Jack Simpson on the bench, who's a decent centre-back. Not in Luton in real life either. Probably not quite as good as the man on loan from Everton. Then we've got Baggin, who I think is pushing for that left-back spot. I'm not going to lie. Bell, he's only sticking in there because I know he's super influential and because he's really actually gotten Luton into the Premier League. But Baggin did look about as good. Thompson, central midfield option, looks decent. Smallbone looks terrible. I can't lie. He was in the starting lineup recommended. I don't back it. I really don't back it. He looks terrible. I know who he is, but he looks terrible in Football Manager. Ben Woodburn looks all right. Was in the reserves, and actually he's played quite a few games. He was recommended to be in the reserves, though. He could be our central midfielder if we need a more attacking outlet in the central midfield. Smallbone could be too, but I way prefer Woodburn. Smallbone's stats, they look very average. Then we've got this man on loan, Burstow, who looks good, potentially as good as Adebayo, but Adebayo we actually own, and I always favour players we actually loan. As you can see here, with two really good players on loan. This one and this one, both looking pretty decent. But they're on loan. I don't want to play them. I want to play players that we actually own. And obviously I'll bring them in if we need to. I don't feel like they're a whole lot better. I say they're probably just as good, you know what I mean? I'm not going to progress them when I could progress our players. Another player on loan is just a rotation option. Someone we're trying to sell, and he's a right back, and another centre back. So the first thing that you notice is squad depth isn't great, which is not good in a championship season. So I think back to when I signed the contract. I'm putting a blanket on me, by the way, if you hear the sound of rustling. Great thing to talk about in the first episode, Rack. So talk about how you're cold in New Zealand and putting a blanket on you. Great. I accepted the contract. It said £1 million in transfer budget. Yeah, no, it's not quite. It was £1 million, but we were in minus £20,000 worth of wage debt. So that quickly disappeared, and now we just have basically no money. Is what it actually is. It's no money. It is no money. So clauses might be sorted. 1 million. 20%. If he got sold, I would get about 10 mil. He doesn't look that good. That might be cashed in on. Hold on, what's the other one now? See, that was kind of like an offhanded comment. 220k. He's worth a bit more than that. I've got to be honest. But we might be desperate and we might cash in on it. But anyway, we need to focus on the first game at hand. The current form of the team is not insane. Not insane. I did just claw it back by getting a win against QPR. But yeah, before that it wasn't good. And you can understand why the manager got sacked. But I also feel like it was kind of harsh considering we're not in a terrible position. 17th place, 3 points away from the relegation zone. It just could be a whole lot worse. So I'm kind of taking it. And we're going to hope that we win this game against the Derby County side that are higher up in the table than us. 11th place, not too far away. We're at home. I don't think we could ask for a whole lot better. We could ask for a much better one, actually. But we couldn't ask for, it's not that bad, is what I'm trying to say. It's not that bad. And this is what we're starting with. And actually, I'm going to really compare here. Bell, I know he's actually a real player. He just is worse. He's so much worse. I'm sorry. If you're a Luton fan and you love Bell, he's not playing. He's just so much worse. Bell, out of the team. And actually, we have to put Walton into the starting lineup. Our starting goalkeeper, who I didn't even mention, by the way, really decent goalkeeper, injured right now, but only out for 8 days to 3 weeks, so should be all right for next week. So actually, I need to upgrade a reserve goalkeeper. Can we have a reserve? No, they're not just sitting there. Nice. Goalkeeper, you can come up. I actually think he was on the team, and I relegated him, so it's a great start for me. But hey, he's going to be on the bench. He's not going to do anything. He's going to be on the bench. This is the team we're starting with. This is the tactic we're starting with. Luton Town. Here we go. And I have rambled on for a very long time. If you're new to the channel and you like a wee bit of a ramble, I'm quite good at it. And that's probably why this episode is going to be about 40 minutes. Because, as I said, we're going to play this game. We're going to simulate to the end of the January transfer window, talk about what happens in the January transfer window, probably play a game there, then simulate to the end of the season, play a game there, talk about what happens at the end of the season, and then the episode will be done. It's probably about half an hour to 40 minutes worth of content. So, sorry if you don't like long videos, but that's what we're here for. I'm here for the journey. I'm here for a long time and a good time, hopefully, which is, you get the best of both worlds. You can't complain. Chilling out, take it slow, then you rock out the show, as Miley Cyrus once said. So, I'm not sure I'm quite doing the same thing. I don't know if, if pretending to be a rock star and then, living a normal life is quite comparable to me just making YouTube videos of Football Manager, but the lyric worked in the situation, didn't it? Morris is on the ball. That's what we should be focusing on. On the left-hand side, and actually the first highlight's coming our way, and this wing play, hit early crosses, and the last-minute decision to bring Baggin in, it's worked. Now, this is just making me look like an absolute tactical genius to start off with. I promise you, the reason why I've made this series the Tactical Journeyman is because I actually suck at Football Manager, generally, when it comes to making my own tactic. Or at least I did, up until I found the gegenpress. And then I used the gegenpress at all times, and I couldn't really create my own tactics for a long time. And now I'm trying it, and I might be half decent at it because we've just managed to score a goal. We're semi-dominating this game, 56% possession, 6 shots to their 3. XG's about similar, but we're winning, and that's the crucial thing. I mean, our form hasn't been great. We are now winning. We're winning. That's the important. That's all we're focusing on. There's anything else, exterior stuff. 1-0. Focus on that, boys and girls. Focus on that. And it is them on the ball here, but I back us to win it back after the first highlight. It's making me feel confident about our performance. It's Bird and to Brian. I don't know. I think I actually do know who Bird is, but I don't know who Brian is. It's quite a general name. It could be. I know a couple of Brians, but not personally. In Football Manager, I know a couple of Brians with the Y in there. It could be any of them, but I definitely know who Bird is. So but here's Brian again, left hand side. Might be going for the exact same sort of goal that we scored. They do intercept in a dangerous area, but hit it way over the bar, and I'm very happy with that. Fernando was looking tired. I feel like that might be a substitute that we're going to make a lot based off the fact that in the first game he's already absolutely knackered and he's ancient. And he's definitely going to get substituted a lot if he continues to start games. But now they're on attack, and the positivity is fleeting, and it's gone. It's gone as well. It's gone. So we're going to go to a balanced mentality now, just to see how that goes, because they are clearly getting back into this game and kind of need to do something to counter that. We're going to make a substitute, and it's going to be Woodburn to come on for Fernando. Move him into the Mazzala. This is what I would normally do on a gegenpress, to be honest with you. I would normally have exactly these roles in the midfield, and basically exactly all these roles, apart from not wing backs. I'd have supporting fullbacks, but then obviously the tactic is completely different. But the roles are the same, and I always win with the gegenpress. I'm hoping the roles are going to work here. I mean, the substitute seems to have created some sort of a difference. 9 shots now. It would seem to be getting a couple more our way. Only made 1 substitute, which in hindsight maybe could have been 2 to experiment with different players. Morris is not playing well on that left-hand side. I'm not bringing on Smallbone. I'm not even sure why I've got him on the bench. I'm bringing on Smallbone, aren't I? I've immediately said I wasn't going to bring him on, and then straight away brought him on. Woodburn can play on that left-hand side. Smallbone's really bad. Like I feel like I'm abusing this man. I know he's decent in real life, but there's so many oranges there, and I know that I have my own like texture pack. By the way, it doesn't look so much better than the actual film. It does. You can't tell me it doesn't. It doesn't look good. He just doesn't look good. Definitely not a £15,000. I'd love to sell him this window. I'd love to sell him. I'd adore selling him in this window. But he's coming on. Burstow, could you play out there? You could to a degree. No, I'm actually kind of hoping that Smallbone would be such a worse name. Smallbone would prove me wrong in this situation. But I don't know enough about the teams to make another sub. That's all we're gonna do. 2 subs. I mean, we're playing all right. Let's not panic too much here, Rex. So I've been known to make 5 substitutes every single game, and maybe that's been my flaw in the past. So let's see how it goes with just making 1 here. They are on attack, which is of course worrying signs. They've got it on the right hand side. You think the ball's going to come into the mixer and they're going to get a good shot, but we intercept and give it straight back to them. And there's potentially, no, we have an attacking outlet. I was going to say actually that's the lack of an attacking outlet, but we've got some Smallbone in there, so we do have an attacking outlet. It just didn't find his way to it. 5 minutes to go. And the positivity that once was there is kind of gone. But I kind of take this as a first. Is that bad? Is it bad that I take this as a first game? I don't know if that's bad or good. I mean, it could still be a win or a loss. I've made some subs to try and influence it. It has done nothing, and it is just a 1-1 draw. I just do kind of take that. Like, I do. I just do. Whether you guys would take it yourself is a whole nother story. But this is about me. I'm sorry, this is my YouTube channel. And I'm allowed to be a wee bit self-indulgent here. I take this. If you take it too, it's good. If you don't take it, well then it's not your channel. So it doesn't well, it does kind of matter because, views and money and subscribers and brand deals. I've never had a brand deal. I don't know why I'm sitting here talking about brand deals. It'd be great to have a brand. If you own a brand and would like me to do a sponsored segment and you're willing to pay me money for it, I'd sponsor just about... No, I'm not going to say that actually. I'm not going to say it, but I'd sponsor a lot of things. So think about that while you're watching the rest of this video. But this is what I mean by rambling. It's a long video already, Rex. So you've played a game. Move on to the end of the January transfer window. Smallbone might not be here anymore, and I'm hoping I don't get sacked because there is a lot of games. There is a lot of games. If I'm not sacked, I'm considering that a win. And I actually did tease trying to get promotion now, and I'm saying I'm trying not to get sacked, but I back us not to get sacked. Let's just make some good transfers as well, and then there's a whole lot of games. There's a lot of simulation to go here, boys and girls. We definitely made the right choice moving to Luton. Although we're not in playoff places, which is, of course, where we would love to be, we are 4 points away with the game in hand on the team above us. I don't think this could have gone a whole lot better. And if we take a look at Bradford City, which I haven't actually done, I wonder how they're doing at this point. 19th? I think that's just out of relegation zone. I think they're just... Yeah, they are, to be fair. Okay, that's good. We don't want to see them doing badly, but then obviously, in comparison to us, it was a good decision to leave. And it was a good decision to hire us because we've taken them from 17th to 9th place. Relegation isn't even really in the conversation anymore. 17 points clear. I'd argue that's enough points to keep us safe already. And we're knocking on the door of those playoff places. This is a successful season so far. And we've made transfers. And we're going to simulate to the end of the season. But we're going to play a game here just to give you a taste of what's been going on against Preston. And, of course, go over the players that we have brought in and sold, because the sales were a huge part of the reason why we could actually make some deals. It started all the way back with Fernando leaving for £600,000. And that was a surprising one for me to sell him, because I kind of did think he'd be a big part of it. But he didn't end up performing as well as he could have. I mean, 6.8 is not terrible. But we just had younger players and it made more sense. And he wasn't going to sign a new contract, so 600k, very good fee for him. George Thomason Thomason or Thompson, I don't know. He's been sold for 1 mil. I don't know why they signed him for 1.7. I really don't know why. I was thrilled with 1 mil until I saw that. He was 2.5 star and 3.5 star potential. Yeah, no, he was definitely a good player to sell. Very happy with 1 mil for him. Loaned out a couple of players, got rid of a youngster, I believe. Yeah, youngster that was signed a new contract for another team. Jack Walton has left the club for £500,000. Very happy to get that kind of fee for him after, not being our starting player. Still plenty of good football left in him, but not as good as our current goalkeeper. And I'm a man of my word. Will Smallbone has left the club for £4.6 million, but only 2.1 came through during the actual transfer window. So if £4.6 million came through, that would have been incredible. But unfortunately, only 2.1, and we'll get the rest later on. I feel like you never actually end up seeing that money, but apparently it's going to come at some point. The first signing that we made, though, was this man. Oh, gosh, it was this man. I thought I made more signings than this, but Tim Ero Igbunam. I'm really sorry, I'm going to call him Tim because I have no idea how to say that name, and I apologise for that. I do really want to pronounce names correctly. I just can't sometimes. But we brought him in for just under £1 million in total. Oh, sorry, 625, but it could go to 1.1 if he makes 50 appearances. And he looks great. 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. Not probably ever going to be a Premier League player, but a really good championship one. And his stats tell a story. He's able to play central midfield, CDM. It was just too good of an opportunity to not sign, and he's already gone up hugely in value. Very happy with that one. Another one that I'm probably equally as happy with, even though his value hasn't gone up nearly as much, but £115,000 for this man. That's great. It's really good. It's great value, and he could also turn into a leading championship player. His stats are great, able to play as that Mazzala, which we don't have a whole lot of cover in. So I'm very happy to get that man in on loan too, and on a transfer too. But the big one, £2.1 million, and it is Hannes Delcroix, I'm going to say, and I actually think I might be saying that right. Let me know down in the comment section below if I am going to say if I am saying that wrong. But I am going to call him Delcroix because I think I'm right because of Lacroix from France and Wolfsburg. So I'm going with Delcroix is correct. And he's a great centre-back, 27 years of age, not got a whole lot of potential, but again, just a good championship player. I actually think that doesn't tell the whole story when he's played this many games for Anderlecht and he has those stats. Like I really do think he's going to boss this league, and I would not be surprised if he ended up being a pretty good Premier League centre-back too. I'm very happy with that signing, even at the age of 27. And now this is what our team looks like with all of those signings made. It's not quite as depthy as I would like, but it is what it is. We've signed current players in further contracts that could be expiring. So Adebayo was going to expire, signed him up. Moreno was going to expire, signed him up. And most importantly, Alan Campbell has been signed again. And he has continued to be incredibly good this season. Actually, if we just go onto the page of the championship, you can see that Adebayo is 16 goals, so he's third top goal scorer, and Campbell is the top assister. So we've got some very good players in there. Adebayo is a gem, love him. Morris is great. This is our best 11 in my opinion. Woodburn has really solidified his place in that central midfield spot by just kind of popping up left, right and centre. And by that I mean not left, right and centre. He pops up sprinkly, if that makes sense, with goals. Like You won't see him score for a while, and then he'll score. Or like just when you start thinking about getting rid of him. We went on this huge run of form, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So yeah, that's kind of where all the good stuff came from. It started off a bit I feel like the fans were probably a bit unsure about me at this point. But when this happened, mate, we just turned it around, and only getting 2 losses now. And I'm hoping we can bounce back against Preston. I expect us to bounce back against Preston, but if we don't, the dip in form could have something to do with it. But yeah, Woodburn, Moreno on the right-hand side, Morris on the left, Campbell in central midfield. I have been playing White, but he's just not that great. Like, he's fine, but I don't feel like he does that much. And I actually think that Tim has better stats, so I'm going to starting him, and we'll just probably rotate between the two of them. Just as necessary. Baggin is definitely the best of the left back options. He's decent, does the job, but probably will look for a better one next year. Journeyman is definitely the best right back, obviously. No other real right back options. Turns and Delacroix are our centre backs. McCathey got pushed out by Simpson pretty quickly because his performances, as you can see here, were less than desirable. Simpson is actually probably going to feel a little hard done by to be out of the first team, but Turns is better, in my opinion, and has more potential. And Delacroix is easily our best centre-back. And Rushworth, again, goalkeeper, doing the job. So let's jump into this game and then simulate all the way to the end of the season. If we do get into the playoffs, I will play the playoffs in this episode. So if you are now looking at the time of this video and you see that it's another half an hour, that's why. So this could be a very lengthy video, actually. It could be a very lengthy. I will play the playoffs in... Yes, I will play the playoffs in this. Yes, I will. I have said I will, and I will. So there's a small chance I won't, but I think I will. I might actually make the decision when I get to that point. Yeah, no, I'm going to make the decision when I get to that point. It will be. Yeah, okay. Chris Wood up top for Preston. I'm just pointing that out. New Zealander, love New Zealander. We're currently aiming for playoffs, so there's no way automatic promotion's happening. Mid-table could happen too. But we're dominating, and that's why I should be focusing on. Actually, 5 shots to their 1. And let's worry about if we get into the playoffs, when we get onto the playoff for AXO. And it is them attacking us now against the run of play, hitting the woodwork. Well, that's frightening. I think the first highlight actually went our way, but I completely ignored it. But here we go, another highlight, and I'm expecting this one to come our way with all the statistics that are going our way at this point in time. Adebayo tries to get, and he actually wins it back. And now is Moreno behind him. He's going to find him. Looking for players in the mixer, doesn't find anyone, and eventually it does get cleared out, but Turns picks it up. And we've got Tim putting it into Morris, Adebayo, and that's how we score so many goals. Morris to Adebayo, goal. And I know, I would be surprised if Morris isn't really up there with our top assisters. 12 for Campbell. Sorry, it bothers me not having the league table. Morris must be on like 6 or 7. I feel like that happens a lot. 2. Scratch that. That's not how we score many goals at all, actually. I feel like it is, though. I feel like because we have the tactic. By the way, the tactic is basically the exact same. I actually should have talked about that before I'm pausing because they might score. I think I've just made it slightly less direct passing, or maybe more direct passing. I can't remember what I had it on initially. And I think it's the exact same. I feel like it's the exact same. I actually think it is the exact same to what I had it as initially, and it's worked. So, tactical genius from Rax FM once again. But it is them on the ball. They didn't score from that free kick, but they do have the opportunity here as they're dribbling the ball around in the right area for them, out onto the right hand side. Tries to get it in. Chris Wood is a danger man, and you got to D up Chris Wood. I mean, he may be 35, he may be getting on, he probably has very little physical ability, but he can still hit the ball, and that is dangerous, and it has led to their first shot on target being the goal. But we're attacking again. I'll still back us to get the win. I don't think they're going to win with just one lucky header for Chris Wood. Campbell shoots it wide of the post, but I like the attacking threat that he brings. He scores goals too. He's so good, man. I actually struggle to believe that he's not going to be eventually of Premier League quality if we end up getting there. He is very, very good. I feel like that's my goal in this series now too, to get Luton into the Premier League. And then, definitely then, we'll look for other jobs. But, Premier League for Luton, that's the goal, for sure. Because it's happened in real life, we can do it too. Here is Delacroix on the ball, playing it into Baggin. I need to cough, and it's really bothering me. It's kind of like, when you can just feel it in the back of your throat a wee bit. But we've still got the ball. And Campbell, see, I told you, he scores goals. He scores goals. And now he has scored. I'm going to clear my throat. It's really bothering me. The amount of times I talk about coughing and sneezing and weird bodily functions that shouldn't really be talked about in videos is a little bit concerning and baffling, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm very happy with the performance so far. Bouncing back after, as I said, what could have turned into some bad form, but it looks like we're attacking them once again as we get over to Moreno, who has not been, I think it's probably Moreno, sorry, who's not been the most incredible player, but definitely has done enough to get that new contract that I've given him. But yeah, he's not, I don't think he's going to be a lockdown right winger for a long time, let's just say that. Like, he's all right, but he yeah, he doesn't set the world on fire. He does his job, and he does his job well. And he almost gets an assist as Morris goes for the header too. See, those lofted crosses are really working for us with Morris on the left-hand side, who can hit a ball as he is naturally a striker. He can naturally play as a striker. And Adebayo with his height. Like, it's just a perfect storm. Like, Moreno is a natural striker. Well, can play striker, sorry. Morris can play striker. Adebayo can play striker. We've got wing-backs that actually come up and do the job. I don't know why I've got Dremer on fullback support. I think I did it one game and it worked. Well, we won the game. I don't know if it's as a result of that, but now I'm too nervous to change it, so I'm just keeping it like that, which sounds not like it makes sense. Actually, it would make a lot more sense in my opinion. No, actually it does make sense because we have a winger there already and we've got an inside forward, so if the inside forward goes inside, then the wing back here goes into his position, and here they kind of just run into each other. So actually, no, that does make perfect sense. It might be why we're doing well on that right-hand side. But I do need to make substitutes. I mean, it's tough when players are all playing very well, but you look for the tired ones and you give them a rest. Woodburn not playing great, and that happens a lot. That does, honestly, happen quite a bit. And actually, at the end of his time here, Smallbone did come off the bench and score some pretty decent and slightly important goals from time to time. So he probably does feel a little hard done by, but I knew if we could get that kind of a figure for him. Like, I offered him out for like 2 mil at one point and it didn't come. I just waited around and we finally got an offer on deadline day. I had a feeling we'd get an offer at some point. And he's just not worth that much in my eyes. Like, looking at his stats, he's not a 4 mil player. I don't get how we've got that much money for him. Not complaining. And I'm not complaining with a goal from Marsh. He's not scored. He comes on so much. And he always gets in the right position. He always hits the woodwork. He always gets an assist or scores an offside goal. He still hasn't scored a goal for us. But he's probably my favourite of our loanees. Henrique, has come off the bench a couple of times. That was nerve-wracking in the last couple of seconds. And done okay, but I probably prefer Marsh. And the striker's just terrible. He does. He's come on so many times and he's done absolutely nothing. But with 3 minutes of additional time going by, we've got 3 points. And now we are really, really, really knocking on that door of the playoff places. And our form must be so much better than all of these teams. Like, respectfully, we have literally taken our side from the, just outside the championship, relegation, and taking them to right outside the playoff. Like, to do that, you've got to have form, and clearly we have good form, and clearly we're a decent side, and we still have a game in hand on the teams above. So actually, if we win this game against Watford, it will put us in the playoff places. Boys and girls, we may be watching the playoffs. I'm really going to have to make that decision about whether I'm going to show that in this video or the next. It might be a separate video one team. It might have to be. But I've got a whole lot of games to simulate before then. And fingers crossed, I come back in a second and we're talking about going to the playoffs.
The season has ended, and based off the fact that we're in the season review, I'm sure you can make an educated guess that we didn't make it to playoff football. And we did do a good job of making a push at the end, but we had a big dip in form after a huge run of incredible form for some time here, where we, to be fair, were versing like really difficult sides. Sheffield United, who came second, then Barnsley away from home, which is just an away from home game. Fulham at home, which ended up coming seventh. Coventry City at home, which... that's probably one we should have won comfortably, to be honest with you. Southampton away, who were first place at the time, and... no, they weren't, sorry. They were third place, I think, and they finished third place. Bradford City away from home, 8th place. Norwich City, who we beat, which was absolutely brilliant, in first place. And then the form sort of came back, but the damage was done. And Blackburn and Brentford, just flew away from us. I remember, I think it was this Fulham game, maybe the Barnsley game, where if we had won it, we would have actually stayed in promotion spots for that week, obviously. But it just didn't end up happening, and we have ended up falling out. 9th place isn't a bad place to finish, but we need to go over the signings. Let's go over the season review, finish on a high note for the season. I'm pretty happy with the signings I did make. Like, Delacroix was great, 6.81. Like, I think the defence in general didn't play that insane in the second half of the season, but I don't think it was as a result of him. He has been very, very good. Very happy with him as a signing. Tim Erogue, sorry, I have no idea how to say it. Also a great signing. Plays a lot of games. A rotation option with Smith. They sort of just rotate half and half each. And he's really good. Young. Love what he brings to the table. But Miles Peart-Harris has revolutionised that central attacking midfield spot. We now play with a game because this man has been playing so well. 2 goals, 3 assists does not tell the whole story. He gets huge average ratings every game. He just pops up, does something, and yeah, I love him. I think he was probably the best signing of the ones that I made, and for the price, you can't go wrong. But obviously, they don't give ratings for the ones that we didn't sign. The best moments of the season was 5-0 win, which I don't think I probably touched on enough. That was a great result against Stoke. 3 goals for Adebayo, 1 for Woodburn, 1 for Campbell. Match to remember was a 2-0 win. And the goal of the season came in a 2-1 win where Campbell smashed it from outside of the box. I think I do remember that one. But obviously, stuff is going up because last season we, weren't here, so they have no record of it. But this is how we lined up the most. Adebayo, Morris, Moreno, Woodburn, Campbell, White, Dramere, Turned, Simpson, Baggin, and Rushworth. I completely agree with all of that. Obviously, it will change next season with new signings, new players, and players in our team just getting more appearances than other people. But Adebayo, rightfully so, is a player of the season. Young player of the season's Ed Turns, which I think is also rightfully so. Peart-Harris, I think, is rightfully the signing of the season as well. And top goal scorer goes to Adebayo. Most player of the match awards go to Adebayo. Average rating goes to Adebayo. But the most assists go to Campbell, which is, again, deserved. So I'm pretty happy with how the season went because we were actually expected to be in the relegation battle when I arrived, and we have made sure that we were nowhere near that relegation battle. I'm looking at the best 11. We have quite a few of our players in there. Adebayo, Morris, White, Campbell, Dramere, Bell, who is staying on for one more season, but I am actually going to try and sell him in this transfer window if I can, even though I have triggered a new contract and Rushworth in between the sticks. So, yeah, I'm happy with it, and I feel like next season the board want us to get... I'm watching Arsenal versus Manchester United friendly, and United just scored, so my attention has been grasped for 1 second there. They want us to just finish mid-table and then continue finishing top half. But for me, I want to push for playoffs. I don't think automatic promotion is a fair expectation for this team, but playoffs, I think, would be a great goal for us. With Adebayo, one of the best strikers in the league, he actually won the Golden Boot, so we can't even act like he's not the best striker. He is the best striker in the league. Campbell with the top assister in the league. Plenty of new signings that are going to be coming in. But unfortunately, the budget that they've given us isn't quite it. Initially, it was just £1 million with no wage budget. Actually, minus £20 worth of wage budget, because obviously I'm overspending at this current point in time. But now it's gone to that by me converting it. It's all right, but obviously we're going to have to make some sales. And yeah, it's going to be tough. But on an exciting note, we have a bunch of youngsters coming in from other clubs, big clubs, who look all right, which is what you want to see. So there's some good things going on. There's some average things going on. Some more money would be beautiful. But I back our team to do better next season. And if you really do look at like how well we did since we took over, like if we had them the whole season, I think we probably would have gone into the playoffs. Like, I know I had some shaky runs, but I would like to think I would have started the season better than this. And even though this isn't that bad, I think I would have done better. I think I would. So I'm happy with that. I hope that you guys are. Smash the like button on today's video if you have enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in for the second episode of the Bradford City. Gosh, this was a big one. We're signing for Bradford City, making transfers, simulating through the season. And of course, next episode we will be playing in the first game of the season, then simulating to halfway through the season, as well as making all of those start of season transfers. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all later.